Chapter 1141 To Say or Not to Say. It was rare that the Zai family was in such a good mood, and old Master Zai and Chief Zai did not give him the cold shoulder. If Miaojing did not ask him to stay, he would find ways to stay for dinner. Tiandong had high emotional intelligence. He sat down and gave Miaojing his name card. "Auntie, this is the hospital that I opened with my friend. It is not established for long, but it has a good reputation. We have famous doctors in the capital with us. My friend is a doctor as well. He came back from studying overseas in America. If needed, Xiaonan can continue to go to the hospital for her checkup. I have already talked to my friend. It will be more convenient for Xiaonan when she goes for her medical checkup in the future." Miaojing looked at the name card. The doctor that Tiandong recommended to them was a female doctor. From the information on the name card, the female doctor seemed to be very competent. But the Zai family had just been to the capital. They had not been to the hospital and did not know much about the hospitals in the capital. Xiaonan was pregnant with her precious grandchild, who was the fourth generation of the Zai family. Miaojing had to be very cautious. "Dongzi, thank you for the recommendation." She would take her time to check. If the doctor was indeed highly skilled, she would then allow Xiaonan to continue to go to this doctor for her checkup. "You're welcome." Tiandong smiled politely. Xiaonan was pregnant. Everyone in the Zai family was elated. Even if the men in the Zai family knew that he had other intentions toward Zai Hua, they also did not give him the cold treatment. Tiandong knew this would be the case, and so he made use of the chance to stay for dinner. This was the best time to leave a good impression on them. Since Xiaonan was pregnant, she was the most precious person in the family. Xiaonan woke up feeling good the next day and intended to return to her work at the Palace Museum. Initially, the Zai family was against it. Xiaonan was pregnant. She could not afford to have any accidents or to take a fall. Xiaonan assured them that she was well. If she was uncomfortable, even if she had to give up on her social practice, she would make sure to take a leave to stay at home. Furthermore, she was already 2 months pregnant. In the past 2 months, she had been studying at school and working as a volunteer guide at the Palace Museum. This proved that the work was not too tiring for her. What happened yesterday was purely an accident. If not for Yu Xiaoxiao who kept pestering her, Xiaonan would not have felt giddy or almost took a fall. Xiaonan sounded convincing and she looked energetic and healthy. Her eyes were sparkling clear, and her cheeks were rosy red. She looked like her usual self. Miaojing debated with herself for a long time before she agreed for Xiaonan to continue with her work as a volunteer guide. Xiaonan went to work at the Palace Museum as a volunteer guide and interpreted for the visitors. What she did not know was that Miaojing, who did not feel assured, asked Zai Hua to go with her to watch Xiaonan secretly, making sure that she was all right. The mother and daughter kept a close watch on Xiaonan for the entire day. Miaojing had to be sure that Xiaonan was able to handle the job as a volunteer guide and that she did not put up a strong front. Thankfully, Xiaonan was telling the truth. Xiaonan was young and pretty, and she was good with her words. Whenever she helped out at the Palace Museum, she would take the initiative to attend to the visitors. Therefore, Xiaonan was very well liked by everyone and they took great care of her. Her peers also treated her courteously. They would never ask her to carry heavy things or do tiring work. When it was time to change the large carton of drinking water at the office, Xiaonan only needed to call for help and someone would help replace the carton of water on the water dispenser. Zai Hua observed anxiously while she assured her mother. "Look. As I have said, apart from the Chiao family who are blind, everyone gets along very well with Xiaonan. If she is willing, I don't think anyone will dislike her. She has high emotional intelligence." Xiaonan had told her about her classmates at the university and Zai Hua could totally understand her situation. In the past 2 months, Xiaonan either went for classes or studied at the library. She also needed to work as a volunteer guide at the Palace Museum. She did not even have time to miss her husband, let alone develop new friendships at Peking University. One would certainly be proud to be a student at Peking University. Qiaonan was cool and reserved, and she would not join in the fun. Moreover, she performed very well in school. It was not surprising that other students were jealous of her. Zihua had done a check on Yu Xiaoxiao. Yu Xiaoxiao had said that she would not show up at Qiaonan's workplace again and would not pester Qiaonan. She would work on improving herself before she applied to be a volunteer. True enough. She did not show up today. Since she no longer bothered Qiaonan, Zihua decided to let her off and did not ask her to be responsible for her actions yesterday. Zihua did not tell Miaojing about Yu Xiaoxiao. She was worried that if she told Miaojing about yesterday's incident, Qiaonan would not be allowed to work at the Palace Museum anymore. Her mother might even feel that it was too dangerous for Qiaonan to study at Peking University. After all, Yu Xiaoxiao was in the same faculty as Qiaonan and she used to share the dormitory with her. Yesterday, she felt awkward to spend such a long time with Tiandong by herself, so she brought Tiandong with her to visit Qiaonan. Thankfully, she was there. Otherwise, Qiaonan might have really taken a fall and her nephew and niece might be in danger. But since Qiaonan and her baby were all right and Yu Xiaoxiao did as she promised and never came to pester Qiaonan again, Zihua had no wish to take issue with her. Mom, you should be assured now. Qiaonan is smart. She would not commit such a mistake. The baby is very precious to her. She must be even more anxious than us. Zihua acted wisely in retrospect and reassured her mother on their way home. Miaojing, who was going to be a grandmother, was in a good mood. She could not be bothered with her daughter. Yes, you are right. Nan is sensible and well-behaved. I should trust her. Qiaonan had been married for less than 3 months and she was 2 months pregnant. She was a good daughter-in-law. Zihua, who drove the car, stole glances at Miaojing. Seconds ago, her mother looked ecstatic but she would look sullen the next instant. Zihua was puzzled. Mom, what's wrong? Was she unhappy? Miaojing sighed, feeling weary. It is good that Qiaonan is pregnant. I am considering whether to share this news with the Qiao family or not. The entire Zai family was truly happy that Qiaonan was pregnant. She told her son over the phone about the good news yesterday. He was so thrilled that he kept his mother on the line, while he ran out cheering and wrestled with his soldiers to express his happiness. He came back to continue talking to his mother after he was done with the wrestling. If Qiaonan's parental family was like any other parental family, both families would be elated that Qiaonan was pregnant. The problem was the Qiao family was unlike any other parental family. As the mother, Ding Jiyi would be angry to know that Qiaonan was leading a good life. She might even curse Qiaonan, hoping that she would suffer a miscarriage. Chapter 1142 What's the problem? Miaojing felt repulsed at the thought that Ding Jiyi might do that. She did not wish to let Ding Jiyi know about the existence of her grandchild. As for Qiao Dongliang, he would change his attitude time and again. He was worse than a woman suffering from menopause. Particularly after Nan married Zai Sheng, Qiao Dongliang seemed to revert to his old ways. He was solely focused on helping his elder daughter, Qiao Zijin, to find a trustworthy man. She was certain that Qiao Dongliang would be happy to know that he was going to be a grandfather. But she was worried that the next minute, Qiao Dongliang would be worried for Qiao Zijin. Nan was already going to be a mother, while Qiao Zijin had not settled down and her future in-laws were not as good as Nan's in-laws. She was worried that Qiao Dongliang might not keep his worries to himself, and he would complain to Nan. She would definitely be upset by his words. If Nan was upset, her grandchild would be affected as well. Miaojing felt that her in-laws were simply troublemakers. Zihua turned sullen at the mention of the Qiao family. What's there to be indecisive about? We shall keep it a secret first. There is the custom that one can only speak of the pregnancy after the 3rd month so that the baby will develop well. Xiao Nan is only 2 months pregnant. We will wait until she is 3 to 4 months pregnant before we tell them. Moreover, we are in the capital while the Qiao family is in Pingcheng. Even if they are angry, they will calm down given some time. Miao Jing snorted. That might not be true. Qiao Dongliang might not go over the limits, but the other 2 people in the Qiao family are shameless. We are already in the capital. I heard that Elder Lin and Zhu Chenqi are coming to the capital as well. Perhaps we will get to see each other this month. Since everyone is in the capital, do you think they will not want to come to the capital? The Qiao family was not well-to-do. If they came to the capital, where would they stay? What about their meals and clothes? They would definitely ask the Zai family to pay for them. If the Qiao family was thankful for their help, Miao Jing would be willing to host them and would not ask them to return the favor. However, given her understanding of Ding Ji, not only would she not be grateful, but she might even stir up trouble. She would not thank them. Instead, she might even be sarcastic toward them, saying that they despised her as the Qiao family was poor and that they intended to dismiss her with cheap clothes and food. Miao Jing had seen for herself how Ding Ji bad-mouthed her daughter. Qiao Nan. If Ding Ji could be so heartless to her own daughter, she would definitely be even more vicious to outsiders. Miao Jing was very satisfied with her daughter-in-law. The only shortcoming was that she was related to Ding Ji and Qiao Zijin. This is not a problem. Even if they dare to come to the capital and we have to host them, there is no need for us to support them financially. I am not looking down on Uncle Qiao, but he would not be able to find a decent job in the capital. Even if he does get a job, his pay will not be enough for the entire family's expenses. There is no need to pin any hopes on Ding Ji. As for Qiao Zijin, she is still taking her diploma studies. She is only in her 2nd year. She would not be able to earn money. Instead, she would need a lot of money for her studies. They would not be able to earn enough to cover their expenses and they would not be able to rely on their daughter. She believed that Uncle Qiao and Ding Ji would not be so brazen and shameless as to pin their hopes on the Zai family. Even if Ding Ji had this in mind, Uncle Qiao would not be so shameless as to receive the money from the Zai family. Say no more. I am feeling vexed. Miao Jing waved her hands, feeling repulsed. You are right. Nan Nan is only 2 months pregnant. Let's wait until she is 4 months pregnant to decide whether to say or not. Yes, that's right. Don't think too much. Shall we buy some child-rearing books to read and come up with a list of dishes for Qiao Nan? Zai Hua changed the topic, cheering Miao Jing up. During the weekend, we can feed Qiao Nan with a lot of good food. But Qiao Nan will have her meals at the school canteen during weekdays. We have to check what food she cannot have. Qiao Nan is inexperienced. We do not want her to eat the wrong food. Yes, you're right. We have to be extra careful with what she eats. If Nan Nan was fed with nutritious food, her grandchild would grow up to be healthy and strong. In another 8 months, they would be plump and fair. Miao Jing was easy to please. Since Zai Hua was her daughter, they had a similar temperament. They were both simple and pure. Qiao Nan had no idea that Miao Jing was in a dilemma because of her pregnancy. Qiao Nan had been very disappointed with Qiao Dongliang over his behavior during her wedding. She could tell that he was intent on keeping contact with Ding Ji and Qiao Zijin. Qiao Nan would not stop him. Instead, she had given him a helping hand. She donated the house at the school district to Pingcheng High School anonymously. Principal Meng knew what was going on and he had heard about the Qiao family's family situation. He had a talk with Qiao Dongliang and he moved out even before the end of February. Ding Ji told Qiao Dongliang to move in with her and he did not reject her. Everyone in the quad knew that Qiao Dongliang and Ding Ji were living as husband and wife again. Since Qiao Dongliang had moved in with Ding Ji and Qiao Zijin, Qiao Nan was no longer worried for her father. She was so busy in the capital that she did not notice that she did not have her menses for 2 months. After she learned that she was pregnant, she also never thought of sharing the news with her father. Rome was not built in a day. It was because of the way that she was treated in her 2 lifetimes that caused her to be on bad terms with the Chiao family. Since Miaojing did not inform them, it did not occur to Jiaonan to tell them of her pregnancy. It was May now and the weather had turned warm. Jiaonan's tummy was beginning to show. She went with Zihua to the hospital for her prenatal checkup. Both of them were left flabbergasted with a piece of news. It was even more shocking than when they learned that Jiaonan was pregnant. "What's wrong?" Zihua stood by the side. She followed the female doctor's instructions to remove Jiaonan's blouse so that the doctor could do the checkup. The doctor applied an oily cream on Jiaonan's protruding stomach and began to do the checkup. The female doctor was performing the checkup as per normal. But she knitted her brows as she did the examination. Zihua could not help but be worried. "Is there anything wrong with Jiaonan and the baby?" Tiandong heard this and took out his cell phone to get Dr. Wei to join them. Chapter 1143 More Than One. Ever since Jiaonan was pregnant, Tiandong could tell from the past 3 months that the Zai family highly valued Jiaonan. Even if it had nothing to do with the hospital, if Jiaonan and the baby were found to be unhealthy, Tiandong might be held responsible for it. He had to get Dr. Wei here to come up with a solution for him. If anything happened to Jiaonan and the baby, God knows when he would be able to marry Zihua and to have a child with her. The frequency for the heartbeat seems to be slightly higher. The female doctor observed. "What does that mean? Is there anything wrong with my baby?" Jiaonan was scared stiff. "Jiaonan, don't worry. Everything will be all right. If there is anything wrong, we will find a good hospital to treat the baby." Zihua hugged Jiaonan, comforting her. Zihua was thinking of having a child. This child came at the right time. Zihua had been cutting down on her visits to the camp. She was willing to change her vocation and stay at home to take care of Jiaonan. In fact, the child was not only her brother's child. It might be possible that she would not meet her destined love in this life. In that case, she would treat the child as her own. Therefore, Zihua was just as worried when she knew that the child might be unhealthy. The female doctor smiled. She knew that her words must have given them a fright. "Don't be worried. This may not mean that the baby is unhealthy. There is another possibility. There is more than one heartbeat in your tummy." "More than one heartbeat?" Tiandong thought about it. "Do you mean that she is carrying twins?" "There is definitely more than one child." The female doctor smiled. "Congratulations! You have such good fortune." According to the National Family Planning Policy, the household register in the city can only have one child. You have more than one child. You are very fortunate. More than one. Zihua had a silly and blank look on her face. She was overjoyed at the news. Even though she was not the mother, she was as elated as the mother. "This is too wonderful. Our family is blessed with such good fortune." "Jiaonan, did you hear that? I will have 2 nephews or nieces." This was similar to striking the lottery. Zihua, who was ecstatic, forgot about keeping a polite distance from Tiandong and that he was a man. Instead, she pulled his shirt while she dug out his phone from his pocket in his pants pocket. "Lend me your cell phone. I must tell my mom the good news." Ever since the Zai family knew that Jiaonan was pregnant, everyone began to read up on books related to child rearing and pregnancy. Even though Miaojing gave birth to 2 children, she did not read up on these materials back then. The times were different and habits might be different as well. The child would be the 4th generation of the Zai family and it would be Zai Sheng's only child. No matter whether it was a boy or girl, the Zai family would make sure that nothing went wrong. After they found out that electronic products would emit radiation, the Zai family would keep their cell phones aside if they were near Jiaonan. Since Zihua did not bring her cell phone, she had to borrow it from Tiandong. Zihua did not feel that there was anything wrong with her action, but Tiandong's fair face turned red, feeling a mixture of emotions. The lady that he liked had her hands on him, particularly her hand which was touching him around his pants pocket. Tiandong had steered off women for nearly 30 years, but he was a healthy man. It was impossible for him not to have any reaction. And he reacted strongly to it. That was why Tiandong felt very awkward. The room was filled with women. If he had any unsightly behavior, it would be very embarrassing. Thankfully, although Zihua seldom went to the army, she was still deft and nimble. She managed to get the cell phone from Tiandong's pocket in less than 3 seconds. Tiandong breathed a sigh of relief when Zihua's hands were no longer on him. But he seemed to miss the moment. "Hello, Mom, it's me." "Yes, Jiaonan and I are at the hospital." "Mom, let me tell you a piece of good news. In the future, you must prepare 2 sets of belongings for your grandchildren. In another 5 months, we will have 2 babies in our family." Zihua had just finished her sentence when Miao Jing screamed, disregarding her status. Two? Yes, 2 babies." Zihua was all smiles. She understood the excitement and joy that her mother must be feeling right now. "Mom, don't worry. After the prenatal checkup, I will bring Jiaonan home. Jiaonan will have to eat more to make sure that the 3 of them have good and nutritious food. They must not starve Jiaonan's babies." Zihua threw the cell phone back to Tiandong after she finished the phone call. Luckily, Tiandong had sharp eyes and he caught the cell phone. Otherwise, it would have smashed to pieces. Zihua walked smilingly toward Jiaonan. She seemed like the grandma wolf in Little Red Riding Hood. She took the towel from the nurse and wiped the excess cream off Jiaonan's tummy. Zihua did not dare to exert any strength while she cleaned Jiaonan's tummy. It was as if her tummy was even more fragile and brittle than the most expensive porcelain in the world. It was the most precious treasure that she had. "Nan, are you hungry? Do you want to have something to eat before we go back home? I think we'd better not do that. The food outside may not be safe. Please bear with it. Let's go home to eat, shall we?" From today onward, she had to ask the auntie to prepare more snacks for Jiaonan. Jiaonan preferred to stay at the school during the weekdays and she insisted on doing social practice during the weekend. If she was hungry, she had to have food outside. If the auntie prepared more snacks for her, Jiaonan could bring them with her and had it whenever she was hungry. "No, I am not hungry." Compared to Zihua and Miaojing who were ecstatic, Jiaonan felt a mixture of emotions. Finally, she was going to be a mother. Jiaonan felt that she was blessed and fortunate. However, she and Zai Sheng had come to an agreement that regardless of whether she had a boy or a girl, they would only have 1 child. She did not know whether to laugh or cry now that she was having twins. She had been through 2 lifetimes where her parents were biased toward her sister. Jiaonan was worried that she would inherit her parents' flaws and that she would walk in their footsteps. She feared that she would be biased toward one child and hurt the other child. "Since you are not hungry, let's take a seat. I have some questions to ask the doctor." Chapter 1144 Jiaonan had the final say. No matter what, Jiaonan had the final say. After waiting on Jiaonan, Zihua took her time to consult the doctor regarding Jiaonan and the babies. Luckily, the female doctor replied that they were doing well. The mother is in good health. It has been nearly 5 months. One could tell that she has been well taken care of. She did not have significant pregnancy reactions. The mother and babies are doing well. Actually, one could tell that she is having twins. But even so, the babies are developing well. The female doctor studied the ultrasound. The babies in the ultrasound were larger than the previous checkup. They would eventually develop to have small hands, legs, noses, and eyes. All the data indicates that the mother is doing well, but there is something to take note. The mother is still in the early terms of her pregnancy, so she and the babes are doing fine. When the babies develop and grow bigger, they will need more nutrition. It will be more difficult for the mother to carry twins. Though she is blessed with twins, she will have to withstand higher stress and she may have more pregnancy reactions. Another thing is that mothers with twins will usually go into labor around the 9th month. She would not carry the babies to full term. Therefore, you have to be prepared that the mother will have premature labor. In other words, other pregnant ladies only needed to go to the hospital 1 to 2 days before their due date. But for Xiao Nan, she would need to stay at the hospital earlier than other mothers, lest she go into labor earlier than expected and they might be caught unaware. Having twins was double the joy and double the risk. All right, I understand. Zihua turned serious. We will definitely go to the hospital many days before the due date. It was all right to spend more money. What was important was that Jiaonan and the babies were safe. Previously, Zihua was ecstatic that Jiaonan had twins. Now, it dawned on her that it was indeed happy to have 2 babies in the family, but it would be hard on Jiaonan to carry twins. After all, unlike other pregnant ladies, Jiaonan had to go to school every day and take part in social practice. She had to work hard for her studies and scholarship. Now that Jiaonan was pregnant with twins, she must be feeling the pressure. Jiaonan was only 21 years old this year. Zihua felt sorry for Jiaonan and her heart ached for her. Nan, don't worry. Everything will be all right. We will take good care of you. Don't feel pressured. If you have anything that you want to do, tell us and we will do it. Nothing is more important than the twins that you are carrying. Jiaonan remained silent and she looked serious. Zihua felt that Jiaonan must be worried due to the doctor's words. Jiaonan forced a smile at Zihua's words of comfort. Sister Zihua, I understand. I am fine. It is just that it is too sudden. I am still coming to terms with it. Jiaonan had a bitter smile on her face. As you know, I am young and I am going to be a mother of 2 all of a sudden. Sister Zihua, I am afraid that I don't know how to be a mother and I won't be a good mother. I fear. She feared that she would be muddle-headed like Ding Ji. What should she do if she hurt her children in the future? Jiaonan was enveloped by helplessness. She had an impulse to abort the babies. If she did not have any children, she would not have the chance to hurt them in the future. Jiaonan broke into tears at this thought. She longed to have a baby in her 2 lifetimes. She could not bear to abort them. She would rather die than lose her baby. Jiaonan cried uncontrollably. In no time, her face was soaked with tears. Zihua was scared stiff. Nan, don't cry. Don't be worried. We are not afraid at all. Everything will be all right. You are such a good person, and you are so good to us. Why will you mistreat your children? You will be a good mother. Don't frighten yourself. Don't cry anymore. Zihua did not know how to console people. She panicked and rushed to wipe Jiaonan's tears. She looked at Tiandong, asking for help. Since Zihua was helpless, as a man, Tiandong was all the more clueless. Doctor, what do you say? The female doctor handed a tissue to Jiaonan, while she advised Zihua. In fact, she did not suffer from a serious case of pregnancy reactions. Pregnant ladies will have mood swings and they will tend to cry or lose their temper. There might be all sorts of situations. This is very common. As her family, you must learn to reassure her and prevent her from having mood swings. This is not good for the mother and the babies. A pregnant woman will be sensitive and tends to think too much. I believe you should have heard that many women may suffer from postpartum depression. This is not limited to ladies who gave birth to their babies. It also applies to pregnant mothers. Therefore, you must be patient and good-tempered when you are with pregnant ladies. One must treat a pregnant lady as the queen, wait on them, and make them happy. Although the female doctor did not say it, Zihua understood her intended meaning. Doctor, rest assured. We will definitely do that. Nan Nan has been doing well since her pregnancy. It might be that she is still in shock upon learning that she has twins. Therefore, she has mood swings. I understand what needs to be done. By the way, will it be better if the husband spends more time with her? Is the husband not around? The female doctor was surprised. It was no wonder that the sister-in-law accompanied the pregnant lady during the 2 visits to the hospital. She had indeed never seen the husband. Zihua was proud yet sorry at the situation. My brother is a soldier. He rarely gets to spend time at home or accompany my sister-in-law. There was a look of respect in the female doctor's eyes. I see. It will be good if the husband can spend more time with her. Of course, as the family who gets to spend more time with the mother. It is more important that you take good care of her and reassure her. Thank you. Now that she knew that Jiaonan was having twins, Zihua posed a lot of questions to the doctor to learn more about Jiaonan's situation. She made sure that she clarified all her queries. The female doctor also reassured Zihua that if she had any doubts or she thought of other questions, she could always call her on the phone. It was then that Zihua finally felt that she could call it a day. The female doctor had to pay more attention to Jiaonan on account of Dr. Wei. Chapter 1145 Don't be afraid. Rebirth Tui. Now that she discovered that the young mother right before her was a well-respected military wife, the female doctor treated her especially well. Tiandong took on the role of the Zai family's chauffeur and was responsible for fetching Zihua and Qiaonan. As soon as they reached the house, Miaojing, who had been waiting for them, dashed out from the house and walked to stand beside Qiaonan, assisting her into the house. Nan Nan, are you hungry or thirsty? The auntie has boiled a pot of chicken soup for you. It is very tasty. Do you want to have a bowl of soup later? Miaojing sized up Qiaonan's tummy while she spoke to her. At the thought that she was carrying twins, Miaojing felt especially emotional. As she said, Nan Nan's tummy was way larger than when she had Zisheng and Zihua. She was only 5 months pregnant, yet her tummy seemed as if she was 6 months pregnant. Qiaonan only told her classmates that she was engaged. She did not tell them that she was married. Therefore, she did not tell anyone that she was pregnant. Su Shennan had passed the position of the vice president officially to Jiaonan in the first month after school reopened. Even though Jiaonan was the new vice president, the president was responsible for organizing the activities in the club. He knew that Jiaonan did not stay in school, so there was no need for Jiaonan to turn up for club activities that were held in the evening. Now that it was May, the weather had turned warmer. Even though one needed to wear a jacket in the morning and at night, it was so warm in the afternoon that there was no need to wear a jacket. Qiaonan was slim and she chose to wear loose-fitting clothes in school. Therefore, one could not really tell that she was pregnant. Even if one looked at her from the front, one still could not tell any differences. If one looked at her from the back, she definitely looked like a 20-year-old pretty young girl. That was why even though some students noticed something odd about Jiaonan, they thought that she must have put on some weight. Nobody realized that the junior who had joined the school for less than a year was going to be a mother. Outsiders might not be able to tell any differences in Qiaonan, but Miaojing could tell the changes in Qiaonan every single day. Moreover, Miaojing had given birth to 2 children. Initially, when she noticed that Jiaonan's tummy was larger than normal, she thought that it must be due to the nutritious food that she had. After she received the phone call from her daughter, she then realized that it was because Jiaonan was carrying twins. How's the prenatal checkup today? Is it tiring? Miaojing assisted Jiaonan to take a seat, while she asked about Jiaonan's condition. Strangers who came to the Zai family's residence might have thought that Jiaonan was the mother-in-law while Miaojing was the daughter-in-law. Mom, don't worry. I don't feel tired. But I do feel thirsty. Ever since she was pregnant, Qiaonan was used to be taken care of by her mother-in-law. However, she was especially nice to her today. Qiaonan, who was feeling troubled, felt overwhelmed by her concern and attention. But on the other hand, she did not want to hurt her mother-in-law's feelings. Therefore, she told her that she was thirsty and forced herself to take a few sips of water. Thereafter, Xiao Nan, who was feeling flustered, asked to leave the living room. "Mom, dinner will be ready in more than an hour. I would like to take a rest in the bedroom." "Sure. Let me help you." Miaojing would not stop Nan Nan from taking a rest. Her grandchildren must be sleepy. They would be able to develop and grow if they had more rest. Xiao Nan accepted her help. Ever since her tummy became larger, the Zai family treated her as if she was brittle and fragile. Xiao Nan would only be treated like a normal person when she was at school or the palace museum. Xiao Nan lay on the bed, but she did not fall asleep. She was troubled, but she could not find someone to talk to. Luckily, Zai Sheng made a phone call right then. Before Miaojing handed the phone to Xiao Nan, she did not forget to remind her son to keep the conversation short. "Zai Sheng, Xiao Nan is pregnant. Electronic devices will emit radiation and it will not be good for Nan Nan and the children. Remember not to speak on the phone for too long. If there's anything important, wait until you come back to chat with Xiao Nan." "I understand," Zai Sheng replied. He knew that if he did not promise his mother, she would hog the phone and pass the message for him and Xiao Nan. After getting Zai Sheng's promise, Miaojing passed the cell phone to Xiao Nan reluctantly. "Nan Nan, don't tire yourself out. Don't stay on the phone for too long. He will be back soon. By then, I will make sure that he spends time with you and the children." "Yes, Mom." Xiao Nan held the cell phone and waited until her mother-in-law left the room before the tears that she had been holding in rolled down her cheeks. Even though Xiao Nan did not cry out loud, and there were only slight changes in her breathing, Zai Sheng, who was her husband, could tell that something was amiss. "Are you crying?" "Yes." Xiao Nan would not keep any secrets from Zai Sheng. She would tell him exactly what she felt. "Don't be afraid. I can't do it. I cannot help but be afraid." Nobody could understand her mixed feelings and dilemma except for brother Zai. Zai Sheng's heart ached for Xiao Nan, especially when he heard her sobs on the other end of the phone. He enjoyed working in the army and he was passionate about serving the country. Being a soldier was Zai Sheng's greatest honor. But Zai Sheng could not help but feel a twinge of regret at this moment. As a soldier, he could not stay by his wife's side like any other man. He knew that Nan Nan was suffering and was in agony, and he could hear her sobs on the other end of the phone, but he could not stay by her side to comfort her or hug her, wiping her tears off her face. Zai Sheng was enveloped by a sense of helplessness. "Brother Zai." Xiao Nan could hear Zai Sheng's deep sighs on the other end of the phone. She felt bitter inside. "Do you think this is purely groundless worries and I am being too emotional? Mom and sister Zaihua are thrilled. Grandpa and Dad have yet to come back, but they will definitely be overjoyed." She might be the only person who felt gloomy after finding out that she was carrying twins. "Nan Nan, I understand your feelings, but you should trust yourself and trust me. You are different from your mom. Both of you are poles apart. Even if something similar really happens, I will remind you. My parents and the old master will remind you. Zaihua will also remind you. There are so many people around you who will help you. Will you refuse to listen to them?" "No, I will not do that." Xiao Nan had tears in her eyes as she shook her head. "I will listen to them. I will definitely treat all my children equally. I will make sure that they are the happiest children in this world. I will do it. I will definitely do it." "That's right. You must have more confidence in yourself. Back then, you wanted to have one child because you were worried that you would be biased." Chapter 1146 Little Grand Disciples. Since we have 2 children now, what we need to do is to give all our love to them. We will not be biased. You must have confidence in yourself as well as in me. In our family, they will be loved by their grandparents, great-grandpa, their auntie, and us. They will definitely be happy. Zai Sheng felt touched and emotional that he was going to have 2 children. He could not describe how he felt. But Zai Sheng calmed himself down. He knew that given Jiao Nan's personality, she must be worried and flustered. He had to talk to Jiao Nan personally as he knew that Jiao Nan had a knot in her heart. As soon as they spoke on the phone, he realized that his wife had indeed worked herself into a dead end. She was afraid that she would be biased and she dared not face up to it. She longed for a child, but when she knew that she had twins, she was thrown into confusion and panic. She was worried that she would not be a good mother. Jiao Nan felt this way all because of the Jiao family. Zai Sheng could not help but be furious with the Jiao family. He felt like doing what he should not be thinking of to push the envelope and teach the Jiao family a lesson. Jiao Nan felt much better after talking to Zai Sheng. She sniffed. Her voice had turned hoarse. Brother Zai, I understand. I can't promise you that I will sort out my thoughts right away, but I will try my best. The doctor at the hospital today mentioned that pregnant ladies would have mood swings, including being angry and feeling like crying. Perhaps I am going through mood swings. I will be better after some time. Zai Sheng felt more assured at Jiao Nan's words. If you have time, do visit old Master Lin. He has no one in the capital besides his disciples and you are his youngest disciple. He is going to have grand disciples soon. Shouldn't you visit him? Zai Sheng knew that pregnant ladies had mood swings. He had to think of ways to distract Jiao Nan so that she would not have the time to think too much. Okay, I understand. Jiao Nan relaxed at the mention of Lin Yuankong. It was uncommon for Jiao Nan to cry and get into panic attacks. After calming herself down, Jiao Nan told herself that it must be due to her pregnancy that she behaved in such a manner. That was why she amplified her worries and ended up worrying herself over nothing. Jiao Nan feared that she might be mentally unstable, so she kept reassuring herself that everything would be all right. In the past, she only wanted to have 1 child as she was worried that she would be biased. But in fact, she might not be biased after she became a mother. She would be more conscious than any other mother that she must treat her children equally, giving them the same amount of love. Now that she had sorted out her thoughts, she felt that it must be due to her pregnancy that caused her to feel down and upset. By the end of May, Jiao Nan took a leave of absence from volunteering at the Palace Museum. Once it was June, she would have to get ready for her exams. The staff at the Palace Museum understood that Jiao Nan had to prepare for her exams. Actually, they were willing to allow Jiao Nan to go on leave as early as in the last half-month of the semester. Furthermore, as the weather was getting warmer, the number of visitors decreased as well. This was so even for famous places of interest like the Palace Museum. During summer, people would usually flock to places where there were pools and lakes. Your tummy is so large now. Lin Yuankong, who did not have any children, was surprised and amazed that Jiao Nan's tummy was growing larger as the days passed by. He could not wait to see her children. They were the children of his disciples, and there were 2 of them. They were twins. He knew that Jiao Nan was carrying twins and her tummy must be larger than that of other pregnant ladies. But it was one thing to know the fact and another thing to see it for himself. It left a bigger impact on him to see it for himself. Lin Yuankong, who had been through a lot in life, was stunned when he saw Jiao Nan and her protruding tummy. He did not know how he should react. There is a bulge over there. Lin Yuankong was still reeling from the shock that Jiao Nan's tummy had grown larger since the last time he saw her when he saw a small bulge beneath Jiao Nan's clothes. It must be her babies who were moving about in her tummy. As a mother, Jiao Nan could feel that her babies were up to mischief. She knitted her eyebrows. They must be similar in temperament as Brother Zai. They will always kick and throw punches. To prove her words, Jiao Nan lifted her blouse to reveal her big and round tummy to Lin Yuankong. There was still a bulge on her tummy. One could make out the shape of a foot from Jiao Nan's tummy. A foot, a foot. Lin Yuankong widened his eyes in amazement. He almost jumped up from his seat. He looked to be as fascinated as Granny Lu when she was first introduced to the Prospect Garden, which was a large landscaped interior garden in the mansion in the novel. He could not help but shout in amazement. Elder Lin, I know that it is amazing, but this is my nephew's or niece's foot. Please be gentle. Your shouts will alarm them. If they are in shock, I will teach you a lesson. Zai Hua, who was with Jiao Nan, helped her cover her tummy. Nan Nan, although the weather is warm and it is not cold at all, you must keep your tummy warm. Do you understand? If Zai Sheng knew that Nan Nan lifted her clothes in front of other men to reveal her tummy, he would be jealous. I bought a waist support for you. Why didn't you wear it to protect your tummy? Ever since Jiao Nan was pregnant, Zai Hua, who used to be a tomboy, had become naggy. She would nag at Jiao Nan and buy all sorts of stuff for Jiao Nan, saying that they were suitable for pregnant ladies. Jiao Nan did not know what to do with such a sister-in-law. It is too warm to wear the waist support. Sister Zai Hua, didn't Tiandong come looking for you today? Tiandong had been hanging out with Zai Hua for nearly half a year. Tiandong seemed to be a good man and the two families hoped that they could settle down soon. Nevertheless, this was what the two families felt. What mattered was what Zai Hua and Tiandong felt for each other. After observing them for the past half a year, Jiao Nan concluded 2 points about them. Firstly, there was no way that Sister Zai Hua could escape from Tiandong. Secondly, Tiandong might have gained her affection, but it was likely that he was the type of man who listened to his wife. Therefore, if they wanted to get married, they would not be married anytime soon unless Sister Zai Hua brought it up. Lin Yuankong did not take issue with Zai Hua's attitude. He was still amazed at the size of Jiao Nan's tummy. Jiao Nan, you are so slim. How can you have such a large tummy with 2 babies inside? Back when he took her in as his disciple, she was still a child. In the blink of an eye, she was going to be a mother and he would soon have grand disciples. Granny Lu was a character in the Chinese novel Dream of the Red Chamber. She was an elderly country rustic and a distant relative of Lady Wang. Chapter 1147 Take Maternity Leave. Little disciple, you should listen to Zai Hua and wear that on your waist. She was so petite, yet she had such a big tummy. He was worried that if she did not wear the waist support, her tummy might burst. Lin Yuankong felt chills down his back for no reason. He glanced at the cut watermelon that was placed on the table. Little disciple, your tummy is so large. I think you must have taken too much food. Should you control your food intake? Lin Yuankong was serious. Jiao Nan's tummy was too large. He was worried that her tummy could not withstand the weight of the 2 babies. Zai Hua, who kept vigil by Jiao Nan's side, felt conflicted. The doctor kept saying that the babies are making good progress. All of her data indicated that she is healthy. The problem was she had the same sentiments as Lin Yuankong. She also felt that Jiao Nan's tummy was too large. Jiao Nan's tummy looked normal in May, but now that it was June, Jiao Nan seemed to have taken in big gulps of air and her tummy was double the size in May. Last week, Jiao Nan took a half-an-hour afternoon nap. By the time she woke up, Zai Hua was shocked to see that her tummy seemed to have grown larger. She even dragged Miao Jing with her to take a closer look. Jiao Nan was not even 6 months pregnant, but she would not be able to see her toes when she looked downward at her feet. Zai Hua was worried that her tummy would grow even bigger as time passed. Lin Yuankong did not have any children, so he was clueless in this respect. Since he started the conversation, he had to be responsible for it. Don't worry. Look at my disciple. She has rosy cheeks and she looks healthy. Nothing will go wrong. She is carrying twins. It is all right to have a bigger tummy. Jiao Nan and Zai Hua were at a loss for words. The 3 of them then broke into laughter. Lin Yuankong took a box from the house and passed it to Jiao Nan. This is from Zhu Jinqi to you, or rather, to my grand disciples. Keep it for them for the time being." There had not been many changes to Lin Yuankang's life since he returned to the capital. It was similar to his life in Pingcheng. At times, people would visit him to ask him for advice, but most of the time, he would be staying at home, gardening and spending time playing with the birds. After Zhu Chenqi came to the capital, life was totally different for him. He and Zai Yaowai were busy with work. They seldom had time for their families. They also had to go on many work trips. Upon knowing that Jiaonan was having twins, Zhu Chenqi shouted out in joy, exclaiming that he was going to be a grandfather. He was constantly thinking of buying gifts for Jiaonan's babies. However, he was too busy. Even if he had bought the gifts, he had no time to give it to Jiaonan. He could only pass them to Lin Yuankang and ask him to hand them to Jiaonan. Zhu Chenqi bought gold jewelry for the two babies. The small golden bracelets were beautiful. The golden bracelets were dazzling. One could imagine how it would look on the chubby hands and legs of the babies, highlighting their fair and tender skin, making them all the more adorable and cute. Jiaonan's heart melted when she touched the golden bracelets. She then touched her tummy, saying, "My babies. These are from Grandpa Zhu. After you are born, you must be filial to him." Zhu Chenqi had been taking good care of her since ages ago. Jiaonan was well aware of it. Even though she and Zhu Chenqi did not go through any ceremony to acknowledge their relationship with each other, Zhu Chenqi already treated her as his own daughter. It would probably be another 2 more years before Zhu Baoqiu would marry and settle down. Jiaonan, who married at a young age, had received almost all of Zhu Chenqi's fatherly love. Fortunately, Zhu Baoqiu was not the boy he was back then. He was not as small-minded and did not take issue with Jiaonan. In fact, Zhu Baoqiu had bought gifts for her children and had already passed them to her. His presents were models made from bullet shells. Jiaonan had a headache with the presents that he gave her. Both Zai Sheng and Zai Hua already gave similar presents to the babies. Now, Zhu Baoqiu gave them the same presents as well. If this went on, she would have a lot of model toys that were made from bullet shells. How about me? As the master of their mother, am I not good to them? Lin Yuankang felt displeased. After the babies are born, you must tell them to play with me. The older one was, the more one behaved like children. Elder Lin was already advanced in years, but he behaved like a child. Normally, the adults would play with the children, but in the case of Elder Lin, he wanted Jiaonan's children to play with him. Yes, let's all have fun. Zai Hua felt amused by Lin Yuankang's words. She tried to appease Lin Yuankang by agreeing with him. Zai Hua knew that Lin Yuankang had his influence in the capital. If her nephews or nieces could play with an important figure like Elder Lin since a young age, it would be very beneficial for them. It was better than spending a bomb to send them to kindergarten. She totally approved of such an arrangement. Lin Yuankang glanced at Zai Hua, askance. He was experienced in the workings of the world. He could tell what she was thinking of. However, this was what he had in mind as well. Therefore, he did not take issue with Zai Hua. It is June. In another half a month, you will be sitting for your exams. Given your current condition, is it convenient to go to school? Lin Yuankang was very worried for Jiaonan since she had such a big tummy. But Zai Hua had assured him time and again that the doctor had said that the 2 babies were developing as per normal. If Jiaonan was pregnant with 1 child only, it was more likely that the baby would be too large. But in the case of twins, they would usually be lighter than normal. Jiaonan's tummy might be too large, but the babies were doing well. Since Zai Hua assured him that the babies were healthy, Lin Yuankang felt slightly at ease. Otherwise, Lin Yuankang would feel like accompanying Jiaonan to the doctor for her prenatal checkup. "Master, don't worry. I usually wear loose-fitting clothes and I rarely spend time at school. Very few students will notice my tummy. Furthermore, now that exams are coming, they will not pay attention to me. It will be all right," Xiao Nan reassured her master. Lin Yuankong reached out his hands to give a slight tap on Xiao Nan's head. He was about to tap her head when he halted. On account of my grand disciples, I will teach you a lesson a few months later. Will I be worried that other people might notice your tummy? You should be given extra care since your tummy is so large. Now that you keep your pregnancy a secret and there are so many people at school, what will happen if they bump into you? Most of the youngsters in school were careless and short-tempered. His disciple could not afford any bumps or accidents. Elder Lin is right. Zihua nodded in agreement. Nan, how about you take a leave of absence for a year? Or perhaps you can revise and prepare for your exams at home. At most, you can give the first prize scholarship a miss. Chapter 1148 I am going to school. With your ability, passing the exams is not a problem. There were too many people at school. They might bump or knock into her. Nan could not afford to have any accidents. As a pregnant lady, Xiao Nan would be very sensitive at times and she would think too much. But she could not be bothered with it. Even Zihua, who used to be a tomboy, had to hand it to her. Everyone who saw how large Xiao Nan's tummy was could not help but worry for her. They could not imagine how her slim waist was able to withstand the pressure of such a large tummy. But Xiao Nan, the party concerned, was the only person who did not have the slightest bit of worry. She would go to school and social practice as usual. Now that it was June and the Palace Museum arranged for Xiao Nan to go on leave so that she could have more time for her revision, Xiao Nan, who used to be busy for the entire week, finally had 2 free days. She made use of her free time to visit her master, Lin Yuankong, with Zihua. Is it necessary to do that? Xiao Nan was not one who did not listen to reasons. Since everyone around her told her to stay at home, she began to have doubts. I am only slightly more than 5 months pregnant. Other pregnant ladies who are in the same trimester as me can sprint and perform their daily tasks as per normal. Do I have to be so uptight and stay at home instead of going to school? It was all right to let other people know that she was engaged, but Xiao Nan had no intention of telling other people that she was pregnant. It was unnecessary to share her private life with them. She did not need to go into such details. Since Xiao Nan did not tell the school that she was pregnant, the school would not make special arrangements for her. Zihua knew Xiao Nan too well. She scratched her head anxiously. Nan, the school has already covered all the important syllabus. How about I go to school in your stead? I will sit for lessons and take lecture notes for you. You can stay at home to do your revision. Will that do? For Xiao Nan to stay at home with a peace of mind and to have a good rest, Zihua was left with no choice but to go to the extremes. Whenever Xiao Nan asked her to study with her, Zihua would get all agitated, saying that she had graduated and would not do any more studies. Now, she volunteered to go back to school and experience what it was like to be a student for Xiao Nan's sake. To be an auntie and on account of her nephews or nieces, Zihua had taken the plunge. Xiao Nan could not help but look at Zihua with a look of surprise. Sister Zihua, are you serious? Are you going to school in my stead? Xiao Nan could not believe her ears. She repeated Zihua's words. Yes, I am serious. I will go in your stead. Anyway, she would just take notes of everything that the professors said. As long as Xiao Nan did not ask her to sit for her exams, she would do anything to help her. Taking notes was an easy task. In Zihua's opinion, studying was far more difficult. One had to memorize all the knowledge and apply it. Thankfully, she was only in charge of taking notes. It was Xiao Nan's responsibility to do the rest. Lin Yuankong nodded. I think this is a good idea. Let's do this. You have quite a lot of books with you. You can read them at home while Zihua goes to school to take notes of what is taught, and you can look through the notes and sort them out at home. In this case, his grand disciples would be safe. Xiao Nan, the party concerned, had yet to give her comments when Zihua and Lin Yuankong had decided for her. Zihua sent Jiaonan home and told Miaojing of their decision, and she had her full support. This will do. Let me give a call to the principal of Peking University and tell him about our situation, lest it cause any unnecessary trouble. She heard that the university would take attendance. Mom, there is no need for that. Jiaonan pulled Miaojing's hands to stop her from making the call. Mom, you don't have to worry about taking attendance. The professors will usually take attendance during normal school hours, but they will not do so during the revision and exams period. Even if one is slack in their studies, they will buck up when the exams are coming. As the saying goes, one will usually prepare at the last moment, and it is better than not preparing at all. Many students will do last-minute preparation and revision. Therefore, during the revision period, students who like to play truant will come back for lessons. The classroom will be packed with students. As a result, the professors would not go through the trouble of taking attendance. If they took attendance in a classroom packed with students, half the time would be wasted. Miaojing had never been to the university, so she did not know what was going on. She was surprised when she learned that the college students adopted such a laid-back attitude toward their studies. Are you serious? Is it okay if Hua goes to school in your stead? Jiaonan gave a reluctant smile. It will not be a big issue. Did it mean that her mother-in-law also agreed for Sister Zihua to go to revision classes in her stead? Jiaonan did not know whether she should laugh or cry at her family, who was overly protective of her. But at the same time, she felt warm and touched. In the Chiao family, everyone neglected her and would bully her. But in the Zai family, she was the most precious person in the world, and she was treated as if she was very delicate and fragile. Given that the Zai family gave her unconditional love and care, Jiaonan felt that there would definitely be a day where she was being spoiled by them. Miaojing had come to a decision. Since it would not be a big issue, this is settled. Hua, you must work hard to take down all the important points. You must not miss out on any points. Don't worry. I will complete the mission. Zihua patted her chest, assuring everyone that she would accomplish the mission. But she felt nervous after she calmed down and had a serious thought about it. It had never been easy for her to memorize the learning points taught in school. She would rather take part in practical learning instead of sitting in the classroom and listening to the teachers as they explained the theories. Would she be able to take down all the learning points for Jiaonan? At the thought of her previous performance in school, Zihua wiped the sweat off her palms. Everything would be all right. Nothing would go wrong. If she could not do it, she could find someone else to do it. Therefore, when it was time for revision, Jiaonan's classmates from the same faculty were shocked to see that two strangers were in the same classes as them. They seemed to be more anxious and serious than the other students. Fortunately, many students played truant. As a result, they were more focused on their learning than figuring out who the strangers were. They cast a few occasional glances at the two strangers before they turned their attention back to the professors and began taking notes. Everyone, including the people who were at the school in Jiaonan's place, was writing and taking notes. Two people came in Jiaonan's stead, but one was busy taking down the notes while the other was not. Tiandong, who graduated from an American university with a master's degree in business administration, did not expect that in order to woo the lady that he liked, he would end up going to school again. Chapter 1149 Good Handwriting. Although he had a lot of work waiting for him at his company and he had many business deals to clinch, Tiandong was startled to realize that he was willing to give up his work for the person that he liked. He left his business in his father's hands while he was taking notes at Peking University. Tiandong sighed helplessly as he stared at the beauty who slept soundly by his side. Who was the one who agreed to take on this task? He might be angry and helpless, but Tiandong could do nothing to Zihua. From a young age, he was at her beck and call. Tiandong had no other choice but to continue to take notes. The handwriting is quite nice. Jiaonan could tell that it was not written by Zihua. She had a crooked smile on her face. The handwriting has strength and style. It looks like calligraphy. Sister Zihua, I didn't know that you have such good handwriting. If she remembered correctly, when she went to Brother Zai's study room 6 years ago, she chanced upon a book that was covered with handwritten words. The handwriting was barely legible. She remembered that there was Zihua's name on the book. Could it be that Sister Zihua's handwriting had improved tremendously in 6 years? Why do you care whether the handwriting is nice or not? What matters is whether the notes are complete and useful. Zihua did not feel guilty at all. She stood with her head high and wanted Qiaonan to check the classroom notes. The notes are well taken. It seemed to be slightly better than the notes that she took in the past. Miaojing nodded with a look of satisfaction, but she then exposed Zihua's lies the next instant. This is not your handwriting. Your handwriting is worse than the old master's handwriting. Who took the notes for you? It was not that Miaojing looked down on her daughter. She could not understand why her only daughter had the worst handwriting in the family. It was only when she saw old Master Zai's handwriting did the family realize that it was old Master Zai who taught Zihua how to write. The pupil would usually surpass the master. Zihua indeed surpassed old Master Zai, but not in a good way. Old Master Zai was knowledgeable, but his handwriting had room for improvement. And it turned out that Zihua's handwriting was worse than old Master Zai's. Zihua was fuming in anger. Why do you have so many questions? Isn't it good that I completed the task? Qiaonan put the notes away. Sister Zihua, thank you and say thank you to Tiandong. Let's invite Tiandong for dinner this weekend, shall we? Did Dongzi help you take the notes? Miaojing's eyes lit up as if she had discovered Zihua's secret. Zihua was flustered and exasperated. What do you mean by he helped me take the notes? Are the notes for me? Dongzi took the notes for Nan Nan. But he did not do it on my account. Qiaonan knew her limitations. Nevertheless, I have to thank Sister Zihua. Let's invite Tiandong for dinner this weekend. Her mind was set. In order to woo Zihua, Tiandong had run many errands for Qiaonan for the past 4 to 5 months. Qiaonan felt embarrassed about it. Tiandong had his own business and he was doing well in his business. At least, he was doing better than the Feng family. Tiandong had lots of business deals that made lots of money, yet he was willing to run errands for her. Qiaonan knew that he did that on account of Sister Zihua. The lady that he liked treated Qiaonan very well, and as a result, he was willing to take good care of Qiaonan. He that loved the tree loved the branch. Since Tiandong was willing to take off his suit and tie and put on casual clothes to sit in the classroom to take notes all for the sake of Zihua, Qiaonan believed that Tiandong would be much better than Wei Dai. At least, Tiandong was sincere toward Zihua. Since she was sure of this, Qiaonan was willing to be their matchmaker and create opportunities for Tiandong to come more often to the Zai family's residence. Yes, we should invite him for dinner. Miaojing was surprised as well. He was highly educated and his business was doing well and he was single. He was deemed a highly eligible bachelor. Miaojing was touched that a man with a successful career was willing to accompany her daughter to mess around, going to school to take revision notes. Previously, Miaojing was already thinking of creating opportunities for Zihua to spend more time with Tiandong. Now, Miaojing was all the more pleased with Tiandong. Zihua could not help but blush, yet she refused to admit it. It is just dinner. This is not his first time here. There is nothing to be fascinated about. Since he has done me a favor, I should treat him to dinner. Anyway, we can afford to have one more person to join us for dinner. When there was a comparison, one would then be able to see the truth. Zihua used to think that Wei Dai treated her very well and was sincere to her. But after spending time with Tiandong, she realized that Wei Dai was not being sincere to her at all. When Wei Dai was with her, he would always say that he felt unworthy to be her boyfriend and he had to work hard to become successful so that her family would accept him. His words were touching. She felt proud that Wei De wanted to be successful so that he could be worthy of her. It was only when she spent time with Tiandong did Zihua realize that there were different kinds of men in this world. Perhaps he had plans and ideas in mind, but he would not speak of them. He would wait until he turned his ideas into reality before he told her and made her pleased with the outcome. Zihua felt moved by his actions. Otherwise, Tiandong would not be the first person that Zihua thought of whenever anything cropped up. Miaojing and Qiaonan smiled knowingly at each other. They looked as if they had discovered a secret and had a sly smile on their faces. They had never seen Zihua blushed when she spoke of Wei De. Now, Zihua was blushing. Miaojing and Qiaonan were women. If a woman blushed at the mention of a certain man, they knew that something must be going on between them. It was just that Zihua refused to admit it. What are you laughing at? Zihua became angry from embarrassment. She threw a disdainful glance at her mother and sister-in-law before turning to go back to her room. It had been ages since Zihua read any books or studied in school. It was too tiring for her to go back to school to study. Furthermore, she had to pay attention and she could not play truant. She had to sleep for an hour to recharge. Otherwise, she might not be able to go to school tomorrow. With Tiandong's help, they had decided that Qiaonan would stay at home to do her revision. Tiandong was resourceful to be able to get a copy of the revision materials prepared by Qiaonan's professor. In that case, unless it was important revision classes, there was no need for Tiandong and Zihua to go to school. Chapter 1150 Only the tummy grows. Although Tiandong was willing to do everything for Zihua, he had to plan and utilize his time properly so that it would not be wasted on unnecessary matters. Fortunately, Zihua was also not the type who was willing to sit in the classroom abidingly. She was elated when she heard from Tiandong that they could occasionally slack during the lessons. The two of them had discussed wrong. Tiandong was the one who did the talking and Zihua just nodded continuously by his side. After confirming that the professor was not touching on revision, Zihua would take care of Qiaonan at home while Tiandong managed his company matters. He was a boss and could not skip his work every day. During the times whereby the revision content was important, Tiandong and Zihua would then turn into good students. One would do the copying at every second while the other one slept. After dividing the labor and cooperating with each other, work was not so tiring then. Clearly, this was Qiaonan's college life. Nevertheless, it improved the relationship between Tiandong and Zihua and made them closer to each other. Privately, Tiandong's mother called Miaojing. These two children are on quite good terms. Tell me, when are our families going to settle their wedding matters? Fortunately, her son did not like men. She was someone who was going to have a daughter-in-law soon. Miaojing had the same intention too. I also wish to do so. I am going to be a grandmother soon. I also hope that it will be the same for you. While I care very much about my paternal grandchild, I will love my maternal grandchild too. The problem is that these two children of ours are stubborn ones. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dragged their feet until now. Does your family's Dongzi have any thoughts on this matter? Although Zihua was very easygoing, she was a lady after all. Regarding a topic such as weddings, Miaojing, who had a traditional mindset, still felt that the lady's side should not be the one taking too much initiative. If the male's family could propose or say something, the two families could sit down and discuss the matter together then. Miaojing sighed. These two young ones are torturing us, their elders. They have feelings for each other but have never made themselves clear. Not to mention marriage, the two children have not even admitted that they are boyfriend and girlfriend. Tell me, what should we do? They had not even clarified their relationship. In her heart, Miaojing blamed Tiandong a little for not being direct enough, that he was not forthright in expressing himself. Having encountered the pestering and shameless Wei De, Miaojing felt extremely anxious looking at the quiet Tiandong, who only knew how to stay by her daughter's side without uttering a word. Was it so difficult to make himself clear and clarify the relationship? Could it be that Dongzi only wanted to maintain this kind of relationship as good friends with Hua Hua? This might be enough for Dongzi but not her and her family. She wanted to let her daughter get married and be a mother-in-law. She still wanted to be a maternal grandmother. Miaojing had made herself clear. She was only short of adding a sentence. How exactly did Dongzi feel toward Hua Hua? If they had misunderstood Dongzi's feelings toward Hua Hua, the two should quickly go their separate ways. Her family still wanted to continue in their search for a son-in-law. Miaojing was anxious. Mother Tian was even more so. It was a pity that her son was very opinionated about this. In America, he never dated nor had any girlfriend. After returning to their home country, besides having some reaction when Zai Hua from the Zai family was mentioned, he had been keeping mum and not expressing his stand at other times. He rejected everything with thorough silence. Just as she thought that there would be a show when her son saw Zai Hua, hey, her son only cared about being good to the other party but did not talk about it. As the mother, she very much wanted to punch her son and hoped that something would come out of it so that they could quickly confirm the relationship between the two families. Don't worry. I will definitely get Dongzi to give Hua Hua an explanation. Zai Hua was not the ideal type of daughter-in-law of Mother Tian. However, it was terrifying that her son had dragged his feet so much. He had delayed for so long that Mother Tian dared not nitpick anymore. It was fine as long as the other party was a woman and her background was chaste. Zai Hua was not very good looking but she came from a good family. As expected, this was a lady from the Zai family and Mother Tian was not as insistent on her previous criteria. More than 10 years ago, she said that she had to pick a daughter-in-law with a good temper, like women from the water town of Jiangnan. This daughter-in-law had to be able to take good care of the family and her son. It could be said that 10 years ago, besides the gender, the other criteria Mother Tian had for her daughter-in-law were the exact opposite of Zai Hua. After Qiao Nan could tell that Tian Dong was true to Zai Hua, she had put the matter aside in her mind. After all, she was a student who had to take examinations. It was humid and hot in June. When the rainy season arrived, besides being humid, it was always raining. The Zai family was jittery about having a pregnant woman who wanted to leave the house. They were extremely worried for Qiao Nan. Fortunately, there was only this examination. When Qiao Nan was having her college entrance examination, the Zai family did not even take care of Qiao Nan in this way. It was only the ordinary final semester examination but Zai Hua drove Qiao Nan to school. When Qiao Nan completed her examination, Zai Hua's car was already waiting for Qiao Nan for a long time. Inevitably, this scene attracted the attention of many busybodies. Due to the spouting of nonsense previously, someone had already suffered greatly and had not recovered from the serious injuries. She had been leading the life of a mouse, hiding in dark places and not daring to interact with others. Regardless of how busybody the other people were, they knew that they could not provoke some people. It was better to avoid them. Furthermore, although the person who came to pick Qiao Nan also drove a Land Rover which was beyond the reach of students like them, the driver was a grown-up lady. Like Qiao Nan, she was also a woman. If they were to spout any nonsense, they would be embarrassing themselves instead of Qiao Nan. Finally, the exams are over. Nan, in the next 2 months, you have to stay at home to nourish your fetus in peace. Don't go to other places if it is not necessary. If you want to go out, you must tell me. I will keep you company. Zai Hua did not mind the trouble of reminding Qiao Nan when she was driving and glancing at Qiao Nan's tummy, which was almost 6 months old. They were extremely grateful for the summer vacation. To students, every vacation was a blessing. Previously, Qiao Nan wore loose and big clothing to conceal her tummy. However, there were still many people in the school spreading that Qiao Nan had been putting on a lot of weight and her tummy had grown fatter. Fortunately, these students were not very experienced in this area. They also did not think so much due to the impact of the examination. Otherwise, they would discover a loophole. What kind of weight gaining method would only cause meat to only grow on the tummy? If one were to really put on weight, shouldn't every part of the body grow fatter at the same time? Fortunately, at this time, all the students had to face 2 months of summer vacation after the examination. It was just nice. Xiaonan's growing tummy that could not be concealed any further wouldn't be exposed at school. Having just finished the examination, Xiaonan felt quite tired. She leaned on the seat and said, "Okay." Zihua felt disheartened as she looked at Xiaonan's slim arms and legs. In her heart, she exclaimed her puzzlement that meat only grew on Xiaonan's tummy and not her other body parts, although the auntie prepared so much good stuff for Xiaonan. Each time Zihua had such doubts, the auntie would tell Zihua that it could only mean that Xiaonan's body took in the nutrients well. In addition, all the nutrients had been taken in by the children.